Hello, welcome. This is Tips and Tricks for InfoPorte. I'm Keith Jones, and also here with Sally Lacomiak. First, we're going to give you an overview of InfoPorte. How do I get to InfoPorte? Review the tips and tricks for using and navigating through InfoPorte, and then we'll have final questions. InfoPorte is a web-based application. You access and store information, complete daily administrative tasks. It's a source for all reporting within Connect Carolina. Data from Connect Carolina and InfoPorte is always one way. It never flows back into Connect Carolina. It just flows to InfoPorte. Data from Connect Carolina is downloaded each night to the data warehouse for InfoPorte. InfoPorte is 1 day behind Connect Carolina. First, there are two ways of logging in. You can access InfoPorte directly by going to infoport.unc.edu, or you can go to Connect Carolina and click on Enterprise Reporting on the left. And InfoPorte works best with Mozilla Firefox or with Google Chrome, but usually we have more problems with Internet Explorer, so we don't really guide people to that one. But it should really work with any of them. But if you have a problem with one, try it with Firefox or Chrome. Accepting terms of use. Before you can begin using InfoPorte, you need to accept the terms of use. The terms of use policy can be found via a link on the InfoPorte login page. Log into Connect Carolina using your onion and password and select the terms of use policy link under self-service. Click the box and click confirm. You can now log into InfoPorte. And then you click on to the terms of use, and then you click the box this in red, the check box there, and then click confirm. And that's all you have to do. We recommend that once again that you use Chrome or Firefox when working with InfoPorte. InfoPorte runs faster and more reliably in these browsers. No matter which browser you use, remember to periodically clear your cache. The method for doing this varies from browser, but you can search online for instructions or ask your local IT assistants to help you. InfoPorte data. The data status alert button is the main indicator about how up to date the data is. When you have a green, as in this illustration, you know that all of your InfoPorte data is up to date. If the button is red, the downloads are in one or more of the areas did not complete successfully. So you see, you can click on that button and get a drop down, and if one of the items beside it is red, then you'll know that that is the one that failed, and the rest should be up to date. You can increase or decrease the display size on your browser. So if something's not displaying correctly, try adjusting the size. And you do that by holding down the control key and hitting the plus key to increase the size, or the minus key to decrease. You can open another browser tab. For instance, if you're working on something and you need to refer to another screen, but you don't want to lose what you have pulled up already, you can hold down the control key on your keyboard and click another tab or button, and it'll open in a separate window. You can see this in this example. I held down the control key and clicked on the finance button. The focus will remain on the current page. To change the focus to the newly opened tab, you just click on it. You can see that illustrated by the red arrows there. Okay, I'm going to hand off to Sally Lacomiak for the rest of the presentation.
Okay, hello. So we have a concept of favorites within InfoPorte, and you can see that in the screenshot. It's the ribbon-looking button at the top of the banner. If you click on that button, you can save any of the filters or searches that you commonly use or pages that you go to. You can name it whatever means something to you and click the add button. If you need to delete a favorite, you click on that icon and then just choose the X by the favorite you want to delete. Just a note we want to make for you is you can't edit existing favorites, but you can delete them. Another useful thing in InfoPorte is to look up chart fields using a report that is found under the Tools button. Okay, when you navigate in here into Business References and then the Chart Field Lookup tab, there's a report there where you can enter in business unit. You can also search by fund, source, department, program, and earnings codes for HR. And this search field is alpha or numeric. Filters within InfoPorte, we just wanted to highlight to you that there's smart searching in InfoPorte, so it has a built-in search where you can start to type in like a partial first name or a partial last name, and it'll search the database for matches. It's important that you wait until the filter field populates and then click the search value you want before you hit the search button. Don't hit search on a partial name because it won't find it. InfoPorte has toggle buttons, and these are the blue buttons on various report pages. In the example below, the toggles affect the number of chart field strings displayed in the search results, but it's important to note that they don't affect the grand total amount displayed. So if a button is blue, then the toggle is on and you will see all the chart field strings for this example, and if the toggle button is gray, then it's off. In this example, you'll see a rolled up chart field strings. Help with system access. The Connect Carolina user information website, ccinfo.unc.edu, has a lot of good information about both Connect Carolina and InfoPorte. So if you're stuck or need an overview of where to go next, this is a good place to start. The screenshot below shows where that is within the navigation. The path for access depends on really what you're trying to get access to. This screen or this slide shows student admin, finance, and HR. Both of them, or all three of them, start out with, you need to read and accept the terms of use, which Keith already talked about earlier. And then there's some of them, student admin and HR have special FERPA training that you have to take. This will go through your action request coordinator for your department, which will help you navigate through the request. This gives you an overview of what needs to happen in the process and the flow of your request. What happens after you submit the request? So that goes to your action request coordinator, like I said before, and they'll submit it via a tool within InfoPorte and make sure it gets the proper approvals, and then that your access is granted. We included this slide in the presentation because action request coordinators can help you with troubleshooting and questions, but from tickets that come into the InfoPorte queue, I learned that a lot of people don't know who their InfoPorte administrator or their action request coordinators are. So below is a screenshot of CC Info and the link you can use to go in and find the list of the InfoPorte administrators and the action request coordinators, so you know who to follow up with as your first line of questions. Okay, we have a PeopleSoft roles report within InfoPorte. This report is only available to ARCs, action request coordinators, but it's important to walk through it here. So the the PeopleSoft roles report and InfoPorte can tell you what Connect Carolina roles users have. You can view the report in InfoPorte and you can export it to Excel. So we're showing the menu path within InfoPorte, and you can use the search fields to choose your users that you want to see and click search button. This report can be helpful if you have a new employee and you want that new employee to look like one of your existing employees. You can kind of find out what that existing employee has, so it'll help you request the proper security roles within PeopleSoft, within Connect Carolina. For more information, there's some really helpful reporting guides on CC Info, and the screenshot below shows the navigation for that. There's a report guide for finance, HR payroll, and student admin report. So the reporting guide provides the following. The report and navigation is on the left. Then we have a report description that kind of, in layman's terms, tells you what the report can be used for. Then there's a column that's what does it help me do, that gives a little bit more specific of how you can use it in your day-to-day work, and then available training for that particular report. Within the reporting guides, you can also use the Take Me Directly To dropdown, which has some specific topics within that box that you can search for if you have a common question or maybe issue. You can also use the search field over to the right, and that's more free text if you're looking for a certain thing like ledgers or something like that. The reporting guide can be downloaded to PDF, although we recommend that you don't, just because the website is the most up-to-date, and we don't want your printed copy to be incorrect. Thank you for attending this session, and we appreciate it.